the client sends you a text that answers 2 of the 4 questions that you had asked in a design meeting earlier that week, what should you do? Or you should do what, excuse me. A, text is not a contractually formal and accepted form of communication, and therefore you should not accept it. Yeah, I dare you to say to a client, I do not accept your communication. So that's not going to happen. B, accept it. Clients can do whatever they want. Well, that's sort of true. Doesn't mean they can't do anything they want. They still have to be clear with you, and they still have to give clear information if you've been asking questions. It could have repercussions for them in terms of cost, if it is delays, there's all kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, of course, they're the client, so they can do whatever they want, but that's not really a great answer either. So then C, you should immediately enter the information in a design log. Well, that's going to be your answer. And this is one of those issues that is a big deal to NCARB and to the AIA. They are, in many places on the exam, going to push you to answer questions that are about having a reasonable system for how you're going to keep track of information. So what this question is really about is that text is complex and it's hard, it doesn't have the same sort of formal aspects that email and paper letters and phone calls even have. It has a throwaway quality, and so it's hard to know how serious people are in text. But also, there's a tendency that people have to write in shorthand and to write kind of quickly in text, which leads to a lot of potential problems because you might only get some of the information in what potentially is quite a complex situation. So the gist here is have a system to accept all changes to the design. Have a system that would then respond with a sort of logical response. D is also a sort of possibly correct answer. You should text back that the other 2 issues were not responded to. But that's actually not really getting at the main issue here. The main issue is how do you keep track of all the changes? So having a log of the information, how it came in, what change was made, all of that is sort of the key to running a project. Now, we all live in a world where text has become very, very common. My contractors are always laughing at me because I'm always writing texts back to their questions that are like paragraphs long. But it's actually a big issue. This sort of looseness of text is, I think, likely to cause quite a number of complicated lawsuits in the future. And I can give you a quick example. Last year I was working on a project, and the contractor, who I knew well, had worked with on many projects, had sent me and the client a text, and the text had, I think it was 6 different questions in it. And the client responded, yes, and then some specific information about one of the questions. And so the contractor went off and he assumed that yes meant yes to all the questions. And so he was ordering materials and getting ready and about to go. And I sort of thought, like, that's weird that I didn't see any more information go back and forth. So I finally responded and said, you know, did you mean yes? Even though I was only being CC'd, I sort of jumped into their conversation. Did you mean yes to all 6 of these, or did you just mean yes to the one that you gave the extra information to? And it was about 5 minutes away from a wall being placed in the wrong location, and we caught it just in time. It turns out they hadn't even looked at the other parts because they had only looked at it on their text in a way that they saw the last question, and so that was the only one they had responded to. And yet there was the contractor buying materials and putting the workers in line to do the work. It's a really dangerous way to communicate. And so the NCARB folks, if they ask you a question about it, it's going to be always about how do you organize and streamline that as a process.
For those of you who are ready to start preparing for the ARE right now, and if you're already an AIA member, you can use coupon code 418-17-PJM-YT to get a 15% discount for the entire duration of your ARE exam prep membership. Finally, please leave a comment below the video to let us know what you think and share any suggestions you may have. I promise we'll read every word that you write and use them to tune our next episodes. So thanks for watching.